WHO had put out that around the world, about 1% of the population is autistic. So it means that in Malaysia, we have 35 million population. So that would mean 350,000 of us are autistic. But if you look at what our Jabatan Kebajikan has reported, people who hold the OKU card, you only have like 26,000 registered autistics. So is this a problem? Yes, I think it is, because it means that there's an under-reporting, under-diagnosing.
The reason why we want to create awareness so that they come for help early is so that they can access the support system earlier. So if they are missed, and most of them will end up with in severe anxiety or depression and requiring medication for that. Because they don't understand certain things, they have to work twice as hard. If they are picked up earlier and their difficulties are addressed appropriately, we might be able to avoid that.
A lot of people say, oh, but you're so good with words and stuff like that. But what I do is, when I was young, I used to think of what people say, and I'll literally write lines by lines down. And they're not quotes from like Margaret Thatcher or something like that. They are things my friend says. Things like, I don't think I have anything to say to you anymore. Angry. So it means that he was angry, and I'll know then that, when someone say that, that person's angry. Like anything in the Ripley's top 40s, I have it. I start to realize that actually I cannot recognize emotions. This came from a very interesting test that I did during the diagnosis journey. I was given like a lot of faces to look at, and I got like 1 out of 40 right. I never realized that I could never tell emotions. So now I know why. I don't know why people are angry at me, and I'll keep pushing. My understanding of the world is just different. It's just different.
It's not all or none, it's like a whole range. So the reason why we do a developmental assessment and then we assess the autism severity is that when you have autism, you can be mild, you can be moderate, you can be severe. Girls who are higher functioning. There were a few who came to my clinic that first time I didn't suspect that as well. Because the children, they warm up to you and then they talk to you and they play with you. And then when I did the other assessment, and only then the features came through. Even then they were very subtle. So it takes a while sometimes.
Autism manifests differently in different people. Females tend to be more quiet, they have less repetitive behavior, and even their so-called restricted interests are more socially acceptable. And oftentimes, they're being picked up either in adulthood or during the time when they're teenagers, just because they have difficulties with initiating or developing friendship. And the other aspects that I think we need to talk about as well is this autistic camouflaging or autistic masking, in which they are really good at suppressing who they really are because they know what the social norms are, so trying to appear as normal as they can be.
Now it's time to fly. 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 Come on, everyone. Over here.
Abriana was 4 years old. We put her in a local kindergarten. Then the principal noticed that she was a little bit different. She was not interactive socially. She asked us to check it out.
Which we did. They actually had a contact, the pediatrician. So he gave us the proper confirmation of our daughter being on the spectrum. At the same time, Aaron, our son, was about 2 years old. and was just running around aimlessly, and the doctor actually looked at Aaron and pointed more concern, and he told us he would actually consider Aaron's situation a little bit more what's the word?
He shows more traits of autism.
So then therapy came in for Aaron first. Very good. Aaron, can you say oval?
Over.
Very good. Finish.
Oh no.
I'ma help. I'ma help.
Ow.
I'ma help.
No, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. If you tap him once, you gotta do it a few times. At the same time, we made mistakes because Abriana had that early learner skills which made it easy for her to go to school, which is why we thought in the beginning that going to kindy was a great idea for her to kind of expose her, get her out of her shyness, which brought us to schools and more schools and more schools, and every school there was always something that happened, something that didn't work. She would come home and cry to me. And I would just hold on to her and hug her, and I would never actually know what was it that was really upsetting her. Oh yeah, just finding ways to amplify what they're good at instead of what they're not. So if Abriana is a singer, get her involved in something musical. If Aaron loves water, get him to go swimming, which is what we did. We had to come under the awareness that we needed to first role model love, and then only was she able to understand love and give love and acceptance.
There are not many doctors in this particular field. Our clinics are very busy. We are getting a lot of referrals. I'd like to think that the awareness has gotten better, so they are coming earlier. But what we are emphasizing now is the primary care. Remember the child health book? So it gives you a rough guide on whether your child is developing within range or not. So when the child reaches 18 months, they do a screening test called the MCHAT, which is actually a modified checklist for autism in toddlers. So if the child does not pass the screening test, then they are referred for further assessment. So this is the easiest pathway basically. It's already there, it's already set and it's there.
In grouping all of this together, I realized that the voice cannot be just me alone. It needs to be a collective voice, collective impact. It's actually autistic women of Asia stories, the neurodivergent community stories of Asia. We need Asian faces to represent us so that we matter, so that people write about us. Not just in media, but in research, study us. We've got so much to catch up. In Asia, so much. We need acts, we need employment policies that protect us. We need healthcare policies that protect us. The next time I feel suicidal, I want a proper support because I'm afraid. What if one day I'm in a meltdown and people misunderstand that? Because that had happened before. I've been arrested because of that before. I want proper help. I want people to understand that there are people that are different.
Now that we know a lot more about autism, and now that a lot more autistic adults have gone into the field of autism, we know now about the lived experience. And so taking that balanced approach about what we know from research, but at the same time looking at qualitative research about how the autistic feels about their life experiences. They need to feel good about who they are, and this is not like an extra baggage or an illness that you can remove. This is intrinsic to who they are. So it's important that we celebrate that and make them feel that they have a lot more positive things that they can contribute to the community as well.